Alright guys, welcome back. We're on video number 2 now, the series of who knows how many. But what I have done while the video was uploading to YouTube or my computer so I could get it on YouTube is I got out the ultramarine blue, the burnt umber, and I made up that black color we were talking about. Now, this is going to go, these two are really important in here because we're cool and we're warm. We get that black. We can mix that into here. We also can use these straight up in there. So where I wanted to go was I wanted to continue building this shadow in here. And then in here, push it light. Well, push it a more meaty, saturated, middle range colors in here to the highlight. And then finish off with the highlight is what I meant to say. All right. So let's just make some space here. I hope everybody's having a great 3rd of July. I am, though I was bummed out it was raining this morning, but oh well. Anyway, here we go. So we're going to go in here. We're going to take that brown right there, that burnt umber, right? And we're going to go there and we're going to drop a little bit of red in it to push it even warmer. Even a deeper muted red, right? So there we are there. All right, let's grab a little bit more. All right, there we go. There we go. I'm liking that. Right? Let's see what happens if we add just a touch of that in there. Now, you got to remember, while I love this ultramarine burnt umber combination to come up with a black, it still mutes your colors after a while. It gives an initial punch, right? You add a little bit. It's like adding that salt. Adds a little bit, gives it that punch. And then the more you add, the more muted it's going to become. Unlike adding too much salt, which just makes it like go drink the ocean. Or go to, what do you call it? Great Salt Lake, right? No, we don't need that much salt. So there's my dark reds, right? Now I switched over to a filbert brush, right? And a flat, actually it's a flat, so it's square, and I want to see what happens with that. So I'm in here and I'm going to do the same thing, broken color. I'm not blending this. My brush is dancing across the page, right? Dancing across the sheet in there. So I'm in there, boom, boom, boom. We're going to go up in here a little bit. We'll even go over in here a little bit. Drop it up in here, all right? Now that pushes it, value-wise, pushes it deeper. You can see it. Now it's still pretty warm, but I get this cool sensation in there, right? So let's go in here. Let's work up in here because that's getting dropped back way too far. So we're looking for oranges up in here. And considering the paint you got in your kit, you guys got to mix that orange, right? So for what I'm thinking about in here, I'd probably go with the cadmium yellow deep, right? And then the cadmium red, right? To come up with that orange. And once again, you're going to have to really pay attention to how much orange and red you mix because yellow and red you mix because the yellow is a hue, right? So less pigment, more transparent. So I get in there and I go like, okay, that's a decent yellow. Orange, Jesus. Anyway, so that's a decent orange. And I'm going to go back to the round. I'm going to get what I feel is the right amount of water for that. Knock off that brush. You don't need a lot. I dip it in, knock off the excess, and then go to the paint. Right? All right. So it's still broken color. And you look at how transparent that is still, right? So we're going to bring it in here. Even a little bit more. And we're going to dip down. We are going to dip down into the darker areas. Right? Now, I've said this in our Zoom meetings and whatnot in the other videos. The only way you can make this feel more opaque is by layering it on thick. But now what I see right there going on right there is it's starting to get closer. That area in here is starting to come to the surface. So we just need to keep working on that. So what I might do now is I might get out the white. Look at how far we've gone without using white. I think the main thing is this, guys. white you got to understand how white operates. And it mutes the colors, right? It'll give it, once again, if it's like a black going in the opposite direction, when you add it to a color, it looks like it gives it an initial like little push, like a visual push. It makes it like go boom, and you can see that. But the more you add, right, the more muted it becomes, and the less visual push you're going to get from just that color. You're going to have to go in there and do something around it or do something on top of it. Anyway, now I'm going in there and I'm thinking about what's happening in there, the highlights. And I've got that yellow, orange again. I don't know what's up with your professor today. And I'm going to the filbert, which is not square, it's rounded, right? I'm going to go there and I'm grabbing that pale orange I made. And I'm going to work up in here. And I'm going to drag, I'm not going to drag, I'm just going to drop marks into the darker area again, right? And now you can see it. Now you really see that area in there come to sit in the same plane as the rest of it, the darker areas. So we're starting to get a little bit of an illusion of depth, right? So I'm going to go in there, and I'm not sure about those whites because I know I want to end up with very light colors to put on top to say that this is a reflection. So I'm in here with the reds again. I'm going to just drop them in here again, and I'm going to drop them through all here because it's a red meatball, right? And that red is happening throughout there, even in the darker shadows. So I'm going to go there, there, there. And once again, I'm going to leave it. Now I'm going, okay. I feel like I'm getting really close in here, right? Now it's the highlights in here that I want to work, right? And so, but I don't want to make the paint muddy, so I want it to, dry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stop. And this is where I'm going in the next video. I'm going to go accentuate the darks, and I'm going to refine what's happening up in here in the highlights and the middle values. All right? All right, guys. I hope you're having a great Friday.